One thing the World Cup have been showing us so far that we are not really talking about is the performances of these Real Madrid players, right? If you watch Real Madrid players so far this World Cup, their performance has been really outstanding, right? Look at Kylian Mbappe, 8 goals and assists. Vinicius, 5 goals and assists. Brahim Diaz, 4 goals and assists. You could see Adegola, 2 goals and assists. Jude Bellingham, 3 goals and assists. So what comes to your mind when you see all this, right? This tells you the performances, this tells you the quality that Real Madrid, the squad possesses, right? But each and every for the past 2 seasons right now, they have always been pointing finger on one player for the probably the underperforming of the club, or the problem of the club right now. They choose to channel the problem at this player or Vini or Mbappe, right? And that shouldn't be so, right? When you watch Real Madrid in a tactical or in a structural way, right, you could see that this problem that or challenges Real Madrid are facing currently is much more of how the manager, how you can build a team out of these players, right? The talent is there. That's of a part of a truth we all know, right? But how do you use these talents? How do you create a team out of them, right? And I believe that Jose Mourinho could be that key, right? I know that yes, we could say Jose Mourinho tactics may be outdated, and yes, Jose Mourinho is this kind of manager that likes to pack the balls and stuff like that. But right, but one thing that I know that Jose Mourinho will be able to work at is the egos, right? That's the number one thing, because you could see that at Real Madrid right now, not apart from maybe Mbappe and Vini, egos. Ego's problem is at the club right now. Every player feels like, yes, I'm a boss of my own, right? So Jose Mourinho has already, he has already gained experience from players that have more than this, their quality, their standard, right? He has dealt with top players, Balotelli, Ronaldo. He has dealt with players with much ego. So I believe he coming to Real Madrid, he'll be able to handle that. That is not a problem for Jose Mourinho. But can Jose Mourinho be able to form a team of this player? Because you can see how the players are performing at the World Cup so far. That's to tell you that the problem Real Madrid are facing is not mainly because of one player, right? It's because of the structure. Because after Carlo Ancelotti left Real Madrid, right? Have there been any permanent manager or a consistent manager? Because Xabi Alonso came in and the players were not happy with his tactics and all that. He left after probably 5 6 months. Abalawa came in, which is standard of coaching, no much experience like that, and he has also they have also sacked him also, right? So watching, you have to put all this in consideration. Those tactical changes, it affects these players right now. It affects the way they perform, and not and second of all, if you watch Real Madrid closely, you could see that the way they sign players, right? I'm not saying yes, every club wants to see that yes, he has the best players in his squad, right? But the way you sign players into your squad, you are forgetting that time, these players they need time to also adapt, right? Okay, just look at this season already. They've already made, I think, about 4 signings: Cucurella, Konate, there's Dumfries, and Bernardo Silva. This player coming in now, don't you think that they need time? Right, they need time to adapt, right? If Jose Mourinho also, because right now Real Madrid are in this phase of transition season, right? Because Jose Mourinho now has a lot of heavy responsibility on him this next season, right? Because not only that these players are coming in, he has to work on how these players would be able to play the tactical roles he give them, how these players could structure more, how to pick a starting 11. There's a lot of things that we attach to it. So Real Madrid players, they keep forgetting that, right? These are there are roles that are things in football that really matters a lot, not the players you have, right? So these players that are coming from a different league, right? Like likes of Cucurella coming from Premier League, you understand me? So these players, they need time to adapt to a new system of football, right? A new system that will be implemented, because every player with his own experience and his own style of football, right? So if Jose Mourinho and these players, if they come into Real Madrid, he needs to work. He has a lot of things to work about. So one thing I want to make it clear to Real Madrid players, Real Madrid fans, is that they need to be patient and trust the system, right? Don't try to put. I know for a big club like Real Madrid, just want to see that your club win trophies every season and all that, but try to understand where the problem is coming from. If you watch Real Madrid last season or the past 2 seasons, Real Madrid hasn't had consistent players, like a consistent starting 11, right? So you see in that midfield, there's no really creativity much in that midfield, right? You could see in their defense, your defense has been one of your problem also that you have been struggling with, right? There are a lot of things that is going on at the club instead of putting one figure. So what I want the fans to understand is that this next season, right, you need to be patient and wait, right? You don't need to rush that. Why is just don't let maybe pressure from other fans and all that to get to you, right? You need to be patient to see how Jose Mourinho could work with this player, right? Stay lucky for more football vibes.